It's time to learn the simple steps to getting your equipment set up, powered on, and ready for action. Condux offers a sturdy tripod and mounting hardware designed for convenient operation of the Gulfstream 300 on any job site. In the most common installation scenarios, this is the point where you'd be setting up for a crash test. So that's what Mike's going to show us today.
So now that we've pressure tested and proofed our conduit, it's time to get set up for the crash test. Now I got my Gulfstream 300 here that I'm going to mount to the tripod. And to do that, I'm going to take the Gulfstream 300 and I'm going to thread this adapter plate onto the bottom. And we just thread it into the hole in the bottom of the unit here using the provided wrench. Next, I'm going to take the Gulfstream 300 and I want to mount it to the tripod. Okay, now that I've got my Gulfstream 300 mounted to the tripod, I'm going to get a sample piece of duct and a sample piece of fiber that we can use for our crash test. Here we have our 16mm duct that we're going to be using today. What I'm going to do is take our end cap and cap it to simulate an obstruction. Next, we're going to get out our duct pack that we'll be needing for that duct we're going to be installing into, so we can install the duct into our Gulfstream 300. So when inserting the duct pack into the Gulfstream 300 QC and you're using standard belts, you want the duct pack to be in this location here, up close to the belt. If you're using our fat wet belts, you want to move the duct pack out to the outer location shown here. We're going to bring our sample piece of duct, insert it into the air block, make sure that it's fully engaged, cover it with the top half, and clamp everything down so it's nice and secure. Next, we're going to go get our cable insert guides, and these are going to help guide the cable into the GS300 here. Since we're using standard belts, we're going to put it in this location here. If we were using fat belts, we would put it in this location out here. We'll tighten that down so it's nice and secure. So now that we've got our sample piece of duct and our cable insert guides in place here, we're going to apply power to our Gulfstream 300 QC. So the first thing that I'm going to get is our power cable connector right out of our kit here. Here we have our power cable connector, and we're going to thread that into the back of the GS300. All right, so now that we have this power cable threaded in to the back of our Gulfstream 300, we're going to hook this up to our power supply inverter. So here we got our power supply here, and we're going to take these two ends and we're going to thread them together like so. Now that we have our power cable and our power supply threaded together, we're going to take this connection and our actual wall cord here, and we're going to thread the two connections together just like this. Right, now I've got our wall plug here connected up to our power supply all the way to our Gulfstream 300, and we're going to take this and we're going to go plug it into the wall. Okay, now that we're plugged in, we're all set up and ready for our crash test with the Gulfstream 300 QC.